Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Kahf country, traveling Turkey. In this episode, let's discuss Turkey and the Silk Road. Now, in this episode, when I'm talking about Turkey, it would be a bit anachronistic to call it Turkey because that's a 20th century expression. However, the Turks have been in Anatolia since a much earlier time. Maybe 1,000 years ago, they began to filter in. 700 years to 1,000 years ago, perhaps. But so really, we're talking about Anatolia and the Silk Road, and we're talking about Constantinople and the Silk Road, because there are many end points or beginning points to the Silk Road. What is the Silk Road? The Silk Road was a network of land and sea trails or roadways. It was a network that connected the old world, that connected Afro-Eurasia by sea trade routes and by land trade routes. So people would trade along an extensive network of roads. Some of them were maintained roads that were paved, and others were just across the desert sands. So these Silk Road networks extend back over 2,000 years. One of the earliest expressions of it is going to be the Persian Royal Road that begins at Sardis here in the Republic of Turkey now, and in one of the 7 churches of Revelation, and it's going to extend out to an ancient Persian capital called Susa and Shiraz area and Persepolis area, and it's going to extend, branches of it are going to go down to into the Babylon region, which will later become Baghdad in that vicinity. And then a road is going to extend all the way up to Khorasan, the Great Khorasan Road, up in the eastern Persian realms, which is then going to be a hub at Balkh, and it's going to extend all the way out to Xi'an, China, or Chang'an, where it's going to have another end or beginning point depending on how you might view it. And it's going to go through various deserts, the Taklamakan, the Karakorum, the Karakum and the Kizilkum deserts. It's going to go up to the Eurasian grasslands region. It's going to go past the Caspian Sea, the Black Sea, various routes. But it's going to it's going to extend various routes down through Yunnan into Southeast Asia, down into, a couple different routes into India proper, through what is now Pakistan, and through what is now Sikkim and Assam, down into various points in what is now India, and by sea routes to Sri Lanka, down through, there are going to be land and sea routes around the Arabian Peninsula into the Hijaz region, down into Yemen, down across the Nile Valley through Egypt, Nubia, Kush, what is now Sudan, and then beyond in various ways, and then across the Mediterranean region through North Africa, and through sea routes to the southern European region of the Mediterranean, like Greece and Italy, Spain, so Iberia, Portugal, and beyond. So this was a massive network of sea and land routes where people were trading all different types of products, spices. Obviously it's named after silk, which comes from a worm that was that used to feed on the mulberry trees in China, and then eventually these bushes and the techniques spread through Central Asia and come into Turkey, and also many rugs made of wool were traded, and that's why we've got Persian rugs and Turkish rugs. You got many products and technologies, different weapons, gunpowder traded along this route. Spices, saffron, like you still see on the Black Sea route. There's the Black Sea area, there's a famous town for saffron, Safranbolu, I believe, if I'm mispronouncing, my apologies. And there were a number of cities in towns that were an important part of the Silk Road here in what is now Turkey. Not just Constantinople, not just Sardis, but Sardis was an end of the Royal Road, but then it would extend a little bit further to the sea, and where ships would then trade further on. to the Greek world, the Italic, Latin world, and beyond. And so you had Miletus before and Ephesus before the river meander and these rivers silted up. These were important sea trade areas. Also Smyrna. And then along the Black Sea, we had places like Trabzon, which is famous for Sumela Monastery, which is a very interesting Christian monastery in a very beautiful mountainous area. I haven't had the chance to go there yet, but inshallah I'll go there soon. So the Silk Road, and also in Bilad Hasham, in eastern Turkey, there were a number of cities that were very important along the Royal Road and then the Silk Roads, including Edessa, Haran, Diyarbakir, Şanlıurfa, Antakya, Antioch, which you would have continued along south, headed toward Egypt, along through Syria and the Holy Land, and then down into Egypt and Sudan and down into Yemen by land and sea, various ways. So this area of Turkey in Anatolia was very connected to many land and sea trade routes. Like I said, they were not only trading technologies and products, but also trading ideas. So Christianity and Islam spread along the Silk Road. Many different expressions of Christianity, many different expressions of Islam, all across the Silk Road, of Shia and Sunni Islams, of various madhabs, various Kalam schools, and their predecessors, many Sufi movements. In other areas, expressions of Buddhism. Many Turkic peoples had been Buddhist at an earlier age. Many Turkic peoples had been Christian at an earlier age before they become Islamicized. And so it's very, very interesting how many religious traditions are trading back and forth. And Khorasan at Balkh is going to be a major hub of trade of ideas and technologies and products. It's going to be a confluential center where Central Asia, Inner Asia, East Asia meets with South Asia and Southeast Asia, meets with the Persian realms, Iran, the Irani lands, and the Middle East of Southwest Asia, and then henceforth into Africa and into Europe, Anatolia and Europe. So, but Anatolia is playing a key role of transferring these goods and products and ideas and technologies, military technologies, architectural techniques and technologies. So it's worth looking more into this. And so you can find a number of important Silk Road centers and cities here in Turkey to this day, connected to the 7 churches of Revelation at Ephesus, at Sardis, at Izmir, which used to be Smyrna, here at Istanbul, which used to be Constantinople, at Trabzon, at Konya, which used to be Iconium, at Haran, in the area of Şanlıurfa, at Diyarbakir. So there are many important Silk Road cities located here, and you will find many caravanserais where they set up along through Turkey that you can go and visit to this day, that had ancient hotels and restaurants and places where they were fortified so that business people could be protected at these locations from bandits and pirates and raiders and thieves. And there would have been well-patrolled roads at different sections of the Silk Road, depending on who was ruling, who was running the empire at the time. This was also not continuous. Over 2,000 years plus, there were times when the Silk Road would break down in certain sections due to war, disease, the changing of the guard as different groups took over the route, whether, as Turkic peoples lost power to the Mongols, and then the Mongols become Islamicized, as the Turks had been Islamicized before that. So this is fascinating. I'll bring you more videos, inshallah, about this as we expand our knowledge and, above all, expand our hearts, learning what it means to be a Muslim, learning what it means to be a human above all else. Till next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.